Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to make this really simple and easy cat bookmark. I do have another similar cat bookmark already listed in my channel, and that video had gained a lot of views, and I really wanted to make another version of that cat. I do hope you like this cat video tutorial also as much as you did for the other cat bookmark. I would also like to add that details related to the yarn use, the hook size, and the other things needed in today's project will be listed in the description of this video. So do refer to the description part of this video as well. So I have already made this two cat bookmarks in this pink and black color. The other one I'm going to make it in a kind of gray color. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring and chaining one. Now I'm going to take this magic ring out of my finger, and into this magic ring I am going to make 8 single crochets. So continue making the single crochets until you have 8 of them into the magic ring. The chain of 1 is not considered as a single crochet. So apart from the chain of 1, you should make 8 more single crochets. So once you are done with the 8 single crochets, you will pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring as much as possible. And now you can either slip stitch to the first stitch and then work on top of it, but here I would like to work in a spiral manner, so I'm just going to work on top of the first stitch. So I'm going to make 1 single crochet on top of my very first stitch, and to identify it I will use a marker so that I know that this is the first stitch of round number 2. So place the marker, and for round number 2 the pattern is to make an increase in each stitch. So by making an increase, what we mean is we are making 2 single crochets in each stitch. Since our round number 1 had a total of 8 single crochets, and since in this round we are making 2 single crochets in each stitch, so by the end of this round we should have a total of 16 single crochets. So continue making 2 single crochets in each stitch till you reach the marked stitch, and once you reach the marked stitch we will again proceed in a similar manner, where we'll remove the marker first and then work on top of that particular stitch. So here this is the last stitch of round number 2. So we're going to remove this marker and then work on top of the first stitch. So make a single crochet first and place the marker back into the stitch to mark it as the first stitch of round number 3. And for this round the pattern is to make 1 single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the next stitch. So in the next stitch you will be making 2 single crochets. So 1 single crochet in the first and 2 single crochets in the next. So we will repeat this pattern till the end of this round, or till we reach the marked stitch, and by then we should have a total of 24 single crochets. So here we are almost halfway done. So we will continue making 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and now we are almost near the marked stitch. So make this last 2 single crochets in the last stitch, and here the center magic ring is still a bit large, so I'm pulling the tail yarn and closing it somewhat more, and here I'm removing this magic marker and marker, and now I'm going to make one single crochet on top of this first stitch and mark it back. Now in round number 4, the pattern is to make one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the next stitch, and in the third stitch we are doing an increase. So this is the pattern for the entire round, but here we will be adding the tail as well. So after 20 stitches, or you can say after we repeat this set of one single crochet followed by another single crochet followed by an increase, a total of 5 sets, which will give us 20 single crochets. After that we will add the tail and continue with this pattern again. So continue making repeating this pattern until you have a total of 20 single crochets, and after that we will be adding the tail. So let's see how many stitches we have. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So we have 16, so we will be adding one more set. So make one single crochet followed by another one single crochet in the next stitch followed by an increase. So with 16 we added 4 more stitches, so now we have 20 stitches. So after we have made 20 stitches, let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. So after 20 we are going to chain 35, that is for the tail. So the length of the tail you can adjust based on the length of your books. So if you have a shorter book, you can make shorter tail, or if you have a longer book, you can add additional chains to this tail. So here I have kept 35 as the standard count, and after I have made a total of 35 chain, I will be slip stitching over the chain till I reach the body of the cat again. So just make slip stitches over each of the chain. So continue making these slip stitches over the entire length of the chain till you reach the base. So here we are almost at the base. So make the slip stitches, and once you're done with the last chain, now we are going to again repeat this pattern. So we're going to start off with one single crochet followed by another single crochet followed by an increase on the third stitch. So we will repeat 3 sets of this, so that means we will have a total of 12 remaining single crochets. So repeat this pattern till the marked stitch, and you should have 12 single crochets after the tail. And so this is lower part of the cat's body. So we are going to add the upper part of the cat's body once we reach the marker. So here we are almost at the end of this round number 4, and now we are going to work on the upper part of the cat's body. So for that, first make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Now chain 1. This chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Into the same stitch we are going to first make one increase. So make 2 single crochets in this first stitch. Now into the second stitch make one single crochet. Into the third stitch make one single crochet, and into the fourth stitch make an increase. So make 2 single crochets into the last stitch. So we have in the first and the last stitch 2 single crochets. So turn your work, and into the first single crochet make one single crochet. Into the second stitch make the second single crochet, the third single crochet, fourth single crochet, fifth single crochet, and into the last stitch make the sixth single crochet. So for this row we are just making one single crochet in each. Turn your work. Into the first and second stitch we will just insert our hook, pull a loop. When we have 3, pull through all of them, and this is how we make a decrease. Now into the middle 2 stitches just make 1 single crochet each, and into the last 2 stitches we will insert our hook into both of them until we have 3 loops, and then pull through all of them, so that we are making a decrease into the last 2 stitches. So for this row we are just going to make a decrease into the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches. Turn your work now. Now we have 4 stitches, so into the first 2 stitches we are going to make a decrease. So insert into the first, insert into the second, pull through all 3, again insert into the third, insert into the fourth, and pull through all 3, make the second decrease. Now chain 1 and keep a long tail yarn and trim off this yarn. So this long tail yarn will be needed to stitch the head of the cat to the body. So here the lower part of the cat is done. Now we will work on the head of the cat. So to make the head of the cat like the body, we will be starting off with a magic ring, and then we will chain 1. Now take the magic ring out of your fingers, and into the magic ring we will be making 6 single crochets. So make 6 single crochets into the magic ring, and once you are done with 6 single crochets, pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring as tight as possible. And here too we are going in a spiral form, so we will be working on top of the first stitch. So make 1 single crochet on top of the first stitch and mark it so that we know that this is the first stitch of the next round. And similar to what we did for the body, here too for the next round we are going to just make 1 increase in each of the stitches. So in each of the stitches make 2 single crochets. So since the previous round had 6 single crochets, this round by the end we should have a total of 12 single crochets. So complete the 12 single crochets, and once you reach the marker we are going to again work on top of our first stitch. So make a single crochet first and mark it back. And for this round the pattern is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the next. So make 2 single crochets in the second stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So repeat this pattern till you reach the marker, and you should have a total of 18 single crochets by then. And once you reach the marker, the size of the head is just right, and if you would want you could add more rounds. If you feel based on your yarn or hook size you could add more rounds, but I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna now add the ears of the cat. So for the ears, first we slip stitch and then make a chain of 5. After chain of 5, skip the very first stitch and into the next stitch make a slip stitch. Into the next stitch make 1 half double crochet. Make a half double crochet. Into the next stitch make 1 double crochet, and into the last stitch make 1 more double crochet. And now skip 1 stitch here in the head of the cat and slip stitch to the next. Now slip stitch into the 1 ear here is done. Now slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 5 again, and skip the very first stitch, and into the next stitch make one slip stitch followed by 1/2 double crochet followed by one double crochet and followed by one more double crochet. After this, skip one stitch and slip stitch into the next. Chain one, pull the yarn tight to make a knot and trim off the tail yarn. So here the head of the cat is also ready. Now what we have to do is trim off, stitch in the tail yarns and then stitch the head to the body of the cat. So to stitch in the tail yarn, if you left a long tail yarn, you can use a needle and stitch the tail yarn into few of the existing stitches and trim off the excess. So here I am using a needle and passing the yarn through few of the existing stitches, and after passing it through a few stitches I am just going to trim it off. Now for the head, the tail yarn, I'm just using a smaller crochet hook because the tail yarns are shorter, and I'm passing them through few of the existing stitches, and once I feel that the tail yarn is secure enough, I'm going to trim it off. Similarly, for the tail yarn near the ear, we are going to stitch it or crochet it in a similar manner. So once the tail yarns are stitched in, we will be stitching the head to the body of the cat. So use a needle and you can count 6 stitches or 7 stitches wherever you feel the head will position correctly over the body, and pull the tail yarn through it, and using around 3 stitches of the head and the 2 stitches of the body, you are going to use the needle and stitch the head to the body as shown in this video. So there is no right or wrong way of doing it. We just want the head to be securely attached to the body. Also, you do not need to worry if the joint section does not look that good, because we are going to add a belt to the neck region, so those stitches will anyway be hidden. So once you're done, we are just going to pass this tail yarn through some existing stitches, and then we are going to trim off in a similar manner. So here the the applique is almost ready. You can keep it this way, or you can add the additional accessories like the belt to the neck and a bow to the tail. So this is a belt that I'm going to add to the neck. So for that I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 9. So this is not a standard number because the length depends on how so that it should fit exactly around the cat's neck. So make a chain of 9, try and see if it fits around the cat's neck exactly. You do not want extra stitches or 2 less stitches here. A chain of 9 is the exact fit for me, so I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first stitch here. So as you can see here, this is a correct fit, so I'm going to slip stitch. If you need, you can add more or reduce some chains, and chain 1 and trim off this yarn. So this tail yarn, again, you can stitch it or crochet it into the existing stitches or existing chains of the collar. So just stitch it into the collar itself and trim off the excess. If you feel that the tail yarns are poking out, you can use a dab of glue and make sure that the tail yarn is secure and is also hidden into the existing stitches. So here the collar for the cat is done. Now I'm going to add a bow to the tail. So for the bow pattern, we are going to make a magic ring first, and then we're going to chain 4. So after the we're going to chain 4 first. So after you have chained 4, you will be making 3 treble crochet into the magic ring. So for treble crochet, you will be yarning over twice and then pulling under the magic ring and pull through 2 loops at a time for 3 sets. So yarn over 2 times, pull under the loop, pull through the first set, the second set, and the third set. Again yarn over twice and pull through the first set, the second set, and the third set. So you have 3 treble crochet. Now chain 4 again and slip stitch to the magic ring. And so this is half of the bow done, and we'll repeat the same pattern to get the other half of the bow ready. So chain 4 again, make 3 treble crochet into the ring, so make the second treble crochet now, and followed by the third treble crochet, and then followed by a chain of 4, and again slip stitch back to the magic ring. Now pull the after the slip stitch, chain 1 and trim off this yarn, and also close the magic ring as you keep making the bow. So pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring as tight as possible, and now wrap these 2 yarn in opposite direction and through the center part, and then place a knot. So place a knot over the center area, and after placing the knot we will be tying this to the tail of the cat. So first place the knot, and now you can tie it over the, leave some length at the edge and tie it to the cat's tail. You can place 2 knots, and after placing 2 knots you can crochet in the tail yarn into the back side of the bow. So one tail yarn you can crochet to one side of the bow, so just pull through few of the existing stitches, and here too, like I said, you can use a dab of glue to the tail yarns after stitching them in to make sure that the tail yarn do not poke out or come off. Similarly do it for the other side also. Pull through few of the existing stitches and then trim off the excess. So just pull through few of the existing stitches and trim off the excess. So here the bow is done and it is tied at the end of the tail, and you can see that our really simple and cute cat pattern is ready. You can make them in a multiple combination of colors, and this will be a favorite for especially cat lovers. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications, and give a thumbs up to this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day, guys.